Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining how I took one Polaroid picture a day. I have two journals because they all didn't fit in one journal. But basically, I took one Polaroid picture a day and I would tape it into my journal like this. And then I would put one of those like paper covers. I don't remember what they're called, but I would cut it out and then tape around it so that my picture would be secure and it wouldn't get ruined. It had like a covering over it, which I liked. And then I would journal around it based off of what happened that day, how I was feeling. But I thought it would be a fun video to kind of look back at some of the Polaroid pictures I've took. I wanted to pick a few pictures from each month and kind of talk about them. I tried to pick the most significant ones of each month, and that was really hard because there were certain months where so much happened and I wanted to pick like 5 pictures, but I didn't want this video to take forever. So I tried to narrow it down, and I'll try to be brief about talking about them. So I'm gonna pick the first Polaroid picture that I took of the year, January 1st, and this one I had to blur out everyone's faces. A few of my coworkers don't have social media and just don't like being shown, so just to be safe I blurred all their faces. But this was taken New Year's Day. I had to work. I was working at a restaurant and it was a breakfast restaurant, so we start early. I had to work first thing in the morning. We were also really short-staffed. The guy back right, even though his face is blurred, we had to call him in because we were so short-staffed. We didn't have a dishwasher at the time, and the dishes were piling up and we needed clean dishes for the customers, so we had to call him in. He came in, he was so mad. And then after work, I think he had to stay hours after work to finish cleaning. We all did, but he was so mad and he did not want to turn around and take this picture, and I was like, you have to turn around. I forced them all to take this picture with me, even though by the end of the day everyone was just done, but I think it's funny to look back on. Okay, this next picture was also taken in January. I had a deviated septum, so I had septum surgery, and it was such a rough time. I was gonna show you guys the picture right after surgery. I had my fiance take a picture of me right when I was able to get up and right when I like saw my family and him, and I look absolutely horrible and I look so sad. I didn't really want to show that one to the internet, but here's one of the next day, the day after surgery. This was January 5th, so very early on into the new year. And I remember that was a really, really hard day for me. It was just such a painful recovery for me, and the pain meds were making me feel really weird and confused and tingly. I remember feeling my body feeling tingly and I was scared. And I did not want to journal this day. I was like, why did I start this? And it was already day 5 and I didn't want to journal, but I made it through and I didn't miss a day. There were definitely days where I did not, it was like the last thing I wanted to do, but I did it anyway. Okay, this next picture is from February. I got pretty into cooking in 2020. For my birthday in 2020, I asked for some sushi making stuff as part of my gift. February made sushi and my parents were holding it up, and I feel like I was getting way better at it. I had a whole platter full. I also made mussels that day and edamame, and I just felt like really confident and happy with how it turned out. So I just thought this picture was really cute. The next picture is from March. This was when I got fully vaccinated and I was personally really excited about it. I really had wanted to start traveling this year, but I didn't feel comfortable traveling until I was fully vaccinated. This next picture is from April. This was with my friend in Denver. She moved to Denver in January, and I made the impulsive decision to buy a plane ticket to visit her in April because I was hoping that I'd be vaccinated by then, and I was hoping that coronavirus wouldn't be as crazy and that it would be safer to travel. I felt comfortable traveling. This was my first time traveling by myself. I mean, although I was going to visit someone, I had never traveled or like been on a plane by myself. I've always traveled with family, with friends, with my fiance. So I remember getting on the plane and just crying. I like had a breakdown to myself. I don't think anyone saw. I hope nobody else saw. But I was like, I know, get me off this plane. I want to go home. I can't do this. But I did, and I feel like that was a big thing for me. Yeah, it was a really fun time. We were at a karaoke place when this picture was taken. Okay, this next picture was in May. I went to visit another friend in Utah. And at this point, after that first trip, I was like, oh, I can easily travel by myself. I'm fine. And she had been going to college in Utah for years, and she had been one of my best friends since high school. I have always wanted to visit her and like meet some of her friends, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. This is my second time traveling on my own. I met her. This trip was so much fun, and we were really good about not spending a ton of money. We cooked most of our meals. We, in this picture, we had been filming TikTok dances for fun. Okay, this next picture is from June. I feel like this summer was so much fun, so it was hard to pick one picture, but this is a picture of my friend Monique. We had gone to a really fancy Italian restaurant this day and just decided to treat ourselves. And oh my gosh, guys, I love Italian food. This was like the best Italian food I've ever had, and I haven't like been to Europe and tried Italian food in Italy where it's probably like the best, but this was so good. And we had like fancy wine, and like we got an appetizer that we shared. The pasta was amazing. We shared this dessert, and I was like so good, and it was just really good company, and we just really enjoyed ourselves. We felt like we almost didn't fit in because there was a lot of older people who were all dressed up and just looked like they could afford a place like this. Right outside of the restaurant there was live music again with the older crowd, but we had fun and I just really enjoyed that night. Okay, July was so hard to pick one picture. I picked a picture from Mav and I's trip to LA. I feel like I'm talking about a lot of trips, but this one was completely paid for by his uncle, which was so kind of him. And this was taken on the day that he proposed. So the day that I got engaged, which is so exciting. I had no idea that I was going to get engaged this day. We had checked out of our hotel that day and we Ubered to like a little parrot cafe in the morning for breakfast, and he had taken this picture of me. No idea that I was going to be getting engaged later that day. I don't know if he knew either, but yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of special because it's from that same day. I actually have two pictures from August. The first one is on a trip with one of the friends that I had a picture with earlier, the one that I went to visit in Utah. We went on an Oregon coast trip, a road trip, but we were both going through stuff and we had a lot of stuff going on mentally, emotionally, that we were trying to figure out and deal with. After this picture was taken, we went off our own ways. I was listening to my AirPods and listening to like worship music, and she went to like pray. We both had like our own little spiritual moments with God, especially being so close to the ocean. I don't know how to explain it, but we both felt such peace on this trip, and it was so nice. This next picture, I also didn't know whether I should blur her face out, but just to be safe, I am going to. This was taken with my lead teacher. This was my first day student teaching. I was so nervous. We were wearing our matching shirts that the school gave us. My student taught for 4th grade, and I was like, oh, they're too old, I'm scared. But it was an amazing experience. This next picture is from September, and it's with my friend Sydney, and we had started to hang out more often, and in this picture, in this moment, we were like planning out some future trips that we wanted to do. My dream like graduation trip and I just graduated in December, is to go to Japan. So we were gonna go for 3 weeks in January. We ended up deciding here that we were gonna go 2 weeks in March, which is gonna be so nice. Hopefully we see the Japanese cherry blossoms, and hopefully we can even go. And then we took that extra week that we had planned, and we're gonna go to Seattle next month instead. So we kind of split the trip up, and that's kind of what's happening here. We've both been in long-term relationships since high school, and we kind of just wanted to do some things for ourselves and make our own memories, because, you know, we'll have our, like, she'll have her boyfriend, I'll have my fiance, hopefully for many, many more years, and then we'll make, you know, our own memories with them like we have been. But we kind of wanted to just do a girls' trip and kind of find ourselves and have our own moments and stuff without them, if that makes sense. And the next month, October, this picture was taken during Mav and I's pre-marital counseling. I always say the wrong thing. I could really just look in here. Our marriage preparation retreat. We were there for a long time, early in the morning till evening, and we had to journal about a lot of different topics and talk about some things that we probably wouldn't have talked about before getting married. It was really great, and I feel like I learned even more about him. There's always more things to learn, and we're always growing and changing. Okay, this next picture is from November. I have so many pictures of my dogs. I have so many Polaroids that I've taken of them, because not every day is an exciting day. Like, some days are just pretty uneventful. Some days I just spend with my dogs, or with my family, or with my fiance, and I don't always want to like force them to take pictures, but my dogs never seem to mind. So this is one with my dog Luna, and my mom had gotten me this bathrobe that I started wearing almost every day last month, and I took this picture with my dog, and I think it's really cute. Okay, this last picture from December, this is with my musical group. Pictured is Calvin, he has his own YouTube channel, Abraham, who's in the middle, and then Eliza, who's sitting in the chair up front. She's been in a video with me where we like did random acts of kindness and we picked up trash together. This was the day that I graduated and walked, so it was a really special day. And then that same evening, we had our last recital. I was in a club where we performed for elderly homes, and at the end of each semester, we get to have our own recital where we can invite all of our friends and family and dress up, and it's really fun. This was my last one because, you know, I just graduated. And it was a really special day. If I were to do this again, I would just use my phone and print out pictures. But no, I would not do this again. But I don't regret doing it this year. I really enjoyed this experience, and I'm glad that I followed through with it. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe. If you are interested in my experience in journaling every day, I'll make a separate video on that. And if not, then I will see you in my next video.